Shalom, 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 Kwam Yasha Allah. This is your mama reporting live from hell, home of the Christians and the Edomites. Family, this video here is just a little history for the family with Moore's Ford lynching, and it's just, we don't need no reminders because it's ever present and before us each and every day. You know, whether it was 100 years ago or 200 or 300 or 400, these are just solemn facts, and that is all. We have to know our history, and we ask, some would ask us to say, forget it, stop repeating this stuff, and don't talk about it. And that was just so long ago, yeah. But Father, our power, He is the judge. He's a lawgiver. He's the judge. He's the prosecutor. He's the bailiff. He's the clerk. He's the witness and the audience. And He holds a grudge. That's right, family. He sees how they use their laws for wickedness, and He's going to pay them back to their face, and it has nothing to do with race. That's right, family. So you might say, and see what all that's going on in the world today, you also have to remember, which they like you to forget that too, Genesis 15, 13, and 14, it still stands. It is set. There is a holy visitation upon the land. The holy judgment will be executed upon the land, family. The Most High's judgment is righteous. So y'all just be at peace as much as you can. I know it's a shit show mess out there. But somebody got to pay for this stuff. Somebody got to give an account for all these crimes and things, and that's all that's going on. Family, there will be no more Jacob's trouble. We already been through that mess. 1492, when they jumped off their ships with their dirty foots on our holy shores, on our holy lands, 1492. Talking about peace. There's not a piece of a bone in their bodies. They wasn't built like that. They just ain't made like that. Psalms 58 and 3, KJV. So we just back that up with Acts 7, 6, and 7. KJV. That's all that's going on, family. So I'm going to play a little clip of this here. It ought to be about 4 minutes long.
Tonight, a CBS 46 exclusive. We are investigating Georgia's most gruesome cold cases, and we are the only station in Atlanta with their own crime scene investigator.
And CBS 46's Karen Greer has more on tonight's CSI Atlanta, the Moore's Ford lynching.
These bullets never disintegrate. It's a fact that could finally lead to answers in one of Georgia's oldest and most gruesome hate crimes, the lynchings at the Moore's Ford Bridge.
Stab a white man!
It's a secret many members of an angry white mob took to their grave. America's last mass lynching. 4 black sharecroppers and friends, George and May Dorsey and Roger and Dorothy Malcolm. In a secluded area known as Moore's Ford. May was 7 months pregnant. Now, 73 years later, the discovery of more than 100 bullet shells and casings found at the site by CBS 46 crime scene investigator Cheryl McCullum and her team could finally link the killers to the crime and bring long-awaited closure for the victims' families. All they want is a slither
of justice. They're not looking for a trial. They know they're not going to get it. They're not looking for an apology. They know they're not going to get it.
In 1946, Roger Malcolm is jailed for stabbing a white farmer he suspected of fooling around with his wife Dorothy. Days after his arrest, his boss, Loy Harrison, drives Dorothy, along with George and May Dorsey, to bail Roger out. Harrison takes the long way home that day. And as they neared Moore's Ford Bridge, the car is blocked by a mob of 20 armed white men who drag them from the car, tie them up, and shoot each of them more than 100 times.
Miss Dorsey, and meet them at the bridge.
Mac has worked in criminal justice for nearly 40 years, but it's the cold cases that haunt her most, which is why she spent the last 20 years solving unanswered truths.
There's a lot here. There's a lot of evidence here. There's a lot of history here.
It's unclear if this new evidence has even been tested or reviewed for leads. The FBI closed the case last year and refuses to answer our questions.
Well, then damn it, go do your job. That's all we're asking. Simple. Easy. Can we test it? Is there anything that can be done now that wasn't done?
The FBI's initial investigation in 1946 identified possible suspects, but no one was charged. In 2007, the FBI revisited the site in Walton County and found little physical evidence. Mac and her team, including Atlanta prosecutor Holly Hughes, visited the site 3 years later and did some digging of their own.
Within 45 minutes, we had our first bullet. After the first day, we had about 30.
Eventually, they collected and turned over more than 100 bullets and casings to the FBI.
That tells you nobody looked in the first place, right?
Right.
That's a pretty obvious conclusion you can draw. And so, how hard were they trying to solve it?
So is it possible to solve this crime?
Is it a long shot? Yep.
Yes.
But dadgummit, it's a shot.
Here's what we know. Shotgun shells went from cardboard to plastic in 1960, which means the shells Mac's team found at the scene, encased in cardboard, were made before 1960. People are gone. They're dead.
Right.
But how do we close this case?
You take that shell casing and you cross-check it against the shell casing from one of the weapons, and you see if you can't match it up. And then you go back to that family and say, hey, you know what? You gave us this. It does match up. What story do you know?
CBS 46 is offering a reward to anyone who turns in a gun they believe may have been used in the lynchings. You can turn the guns in to any police station for testing and send a signed letter of proof to CSI Atlanta at cbs46.com.
Yeah, right. That invisible enemy is going in there and dragging these red dragons to justice. These people are dangerous criminals, family. And that's why what you see today in the world, I don't know about in your world, but this is ESAU'S troubles and the Gentiles' tribulations. Be at peace, family. Fast, pray, repent, and put it on repeat. This is for the Jew as well as the Gentiles, because the Hebrews on the rise. Be at peace, family. Shalom.